Hello everybody, Corey here. We're going to go over the trades and holdings for September 17th. Sorry about that. Just a reminder, I'm not qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. All I'm doing is gathering the data, presenting the data to you, and then that way you can use this information to make more informed decisions or even decide if you want to invest in these or not, right? So YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please make sure that you have read the prospectuses. I know there's changes out there to them also. Make sure you read the risk, you understand them, and all of this before investing in these. So we're going to jump right into this. I did change my color codes and I did change the formula back to include the negatives on column AC. Other than that, that's the only changes that I made this morning. And I wasn't even going to make the other change. I was like, oh, if I make one change, it's good enough. But then, yep, I spent more time doing it. But so we're going to try to make it through this video in a decent time. There aren't a lot of trades, but there are some. But we don't have any for Abney here, so we'll just go over these again. We have a 120 strike price, but look at that. The stock price went up almost $5 yesterday for Airbnb there. So we did end up going over our strike price, so we're over that by $2.12 or 2%, and we do not have a bought call for this one. So we don't have any upside for the short call itself, but of course we can still go up a little bit based on the synthetic market value. Moving on to AIYY, we don't have any trades here. We have our bought call with the 23.50 strike price. It says we're under this 1%, but that 1% is only 17 cents. So just keep that in mind. That does give us an upside of maybe about 7 more cents for AIYY. Let's say AI went up yesterday about 5 cents and AIYY went up 4 cents. We do have a bought call for this one, so 24.50. Of course, we're underneath that one 5%. And then just a reminder, so the expiration dates are here. Most of these are going to expire on Friday, but some of these will not. They are color-coded. I've never really went over this, but for those of you that watch, and I have to remember to change my color codes. I have done it today. So the red ones will expire this week, yellow the next week, green the following week. And of course, if you haven't watched this, these are in alphabetical order. We'll be going over the long ETFs, then the short ETFs, then YBIT. Moving on to AMDY, we have a short call with 155 strike price. We're underneath that 3%, possible upside of about 37 cents for the short call. We also have a bought call here with a 160 strike price. We are underneath that 6%, which is about $10. Looks like AMD went down $1 or so yesterday. Anyway, moving on to AMZ, we have a short call with a 187.50. We are underneath that. Looks like about 62 cents. We do have a bought call for this one, which is 192.50. We're underneath that one at 3%. Only about 6 cents upside for AMZ for the short call itself. Aptly, we have one short call with a 220 strike price. We're underneath that 1% or a little over $3. Possible upside for that short call is about 25 cents. We do have two bought calls. This one is the first one and only one that I've seen that they've staggered the bought calls. So they have 1,720. I apologize. My throat's a little raspy. Okay, we have a 222.50 strike price here that we're underneath 3% with the 1,720 contracts. Then we have a $225 strike price. We're under 4%, which has 2,000 contracts. Now, this one does not expire until next week. So we'll see how this one works for us. Of course, today, I did mention this up front, we have rate decisions today from the Fed. If we get 50, we might be in trouble. If they just do the 25, then we're probably going to be okay. It might even, I don't even know, it might make the market go up. It may not. It may be one of those, buy the rumor, sell the news things, but we'll see. All right, moving on. So yesterday, and I had 4 people respond. I asked you how you wanted me to pronounce this, Babu or Bab-O. And Doug, I'm sorry, but you were the lone wolf saying to do Babu. I'm sorry, Bab-O. And then I had the other 3 said Babu. One said it was because it was funny. And then this morning, I was like, I had to Google it. So it took me a few minutes before I started this video because it kept reminding me of something, like an old cartoon, right? And I finally found it. It was Yogi Bear. And you know, if you watch the cartoon when you were little, he says, "Hey, boo boo." I know I'm stupid, but I know it's Babu or Babo, but yeah, Babu makes me think of that "Hey Boo Boo." Anyway, I know it wasn't just the bamboo thing. So anyway, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. We'll keep moving. We have the short call here with the $87 strike price. We're underneath that 3% possible upside for the short call of 54 cents a share. We do not have a bought call for Babu. Then we have Coney here. We have 3 short calls, 162.50. We're only underneath that one 5 cents. We have 6,600 contracts there. Then we had the 170 straight price. We're under 4% with the 6,600 contracts there. And then we have the 172.50, which we're under 6% with the majority of the contracts, 22,000. We do have 2 bought calls here showing up. The 180 strike price was 6,600. We're under that one 10%. Now, these all expire, not tomorrow. I don't know why I think it's Thursday, Friday. And then we have the 182.50. We're under 11%, which is the majority of the contracts, almost 29,000. So these all could significantly, the market could significantly change today, one way or the other. I don't know, possible upside here on these, on the short calls, just they're all spread out. It makes it harder to tell. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 cents. Because remember, like that first case there, once you go over the 162.50, now that one starts going negative, and now you have to pay that one. So even though the 170 straight price may be going up and possible upside, the other one's going down. So then they start canceling each other out, at least for the short calls. Because again, remember, our synthetics, depending on how the market value is, it could make these, most of the time, it makes the stock go up. I've seen sometimes it does not. But those were rare occasions that I looked and I didn't see it. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure our first trade was JPMO. I just feel like I've gone a long time with it. So, okay. So we have Dizzo. We have a short call 92 strike price. Yesterday we got to 92.86, so we're above the strike price 1% or 86 cents. So no upside here for the short call and no bought call. Then we have Phoebe here with the short call of 540 strike price. We're underneath that 1% or a little bit over $3. Possible upside for the short call about 13 cents for Phoebe, but no bought calls. And my cats are racing or something. All right, we have GDXY here. We have a short call, the 41 strike price. We're underneath that 4%. Possible upside here for about 65 cents for GDXY. Sorry, I was looking at the stock prices over here. We have no bought call for that one. Sorry, now I got a text message. My daughter's braces appointment. All right, so GUI here, we have a short call with a 157.50 strike price. We're over that 1%. We closed yesterday at 159.32. So we're above that a couple of dollars there. We do have a bought call in this case of 160. We're not quite there yet. We're underneath that 68 cents. Of course, we have our synthetic here at the 160 straight price, so it looks like it's going to start going positive for us. Moving on to JPMO. This is the one that had trades. So something's not right. So let's look. Or I say that. I could be wrong. Oh, okay. No. Why did they do that? Something's not. Hold on. Huh. right, so they added 500 contracts. The problem is I don't see the synthetics to go with that. So they added, you can see here, they added 500 to the short call and bulk call. So then we should have had a synthetic and we should have had a synthetic call and put there, right? And so since we don't, now our shares don't match. So if we take this one, the 1,110 and the 500, that equals 1610. Well, our synthetics only 1110. So there was some, I'm guessing, a mistake here. So this will probably be fixed today on the trades. I'm guessing that the trades will show that they eat. Well, you know what? I'm looking at this, and that's a lot considering we only have 1,000 overall for JPMO. Like, nobody would have bought in that much to add that much, right? I guess it depends on, I don't know what they had yesterday as far as whatever, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Let's look though real quick. Oh, I done passed it. I'm sorry. I don't know my alphabet. Yeah, so here in cash yesterday, they had 80,000 in the money market and then the 453 there. It looks like they basically have the same thing still. Let's see. I know that looks like they brought in about 50. This did increase. So I don't know. We'll see, but I just wonder if they closed. That's, half of what they had. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe they were they closed out 500 of these and then went ahead and pushed 500 to next week, leaving some to see how things are going to finish out this. Because I've seen that happen before. They've done that before. And so maybe that's what they did, because I don't think all of a sudden this account just increased that many. In fact, let's look at the outstanding shares. Yes, the outstanding shares was 1.25 million yesterday, and it's still 1.25 million. Yeah, so my guess is they closed out 500 of these and pushed them to next week. That's about half, right? So we'll see. Anyway, I know, spend too much time on that. We'll check that out tomorrow, assuming I'm able to get a video out tomorrow, but at least we'll see it. I know it'll be on the trades or whatever, if I remember to mention it the next time I do a video. Anyway, we're gonna, so I don't even know what the next one was. So SMCY. So Murney here, we have two short calls, 69 and a 73 strike price. Yesterday we closed up a couple of dollars at 71.99. So we are above the short call of the 69 strike price by 4%, and this is where almost all of our contracts are, almost 3,000. Then we have 55 contracts at the 73 strike price, which were under 1%. We do have a bought call, but that bought call was $7 away. Wow, there's a $7 spread there. But this bought call is it's at 76 strike price. So we're still underneath that 5%. So we have a $4 increase if we did get to that. But yeah, these expire in 2 days. So no upside. Not that, needless to say, no upside for the short calls here for Murney. Okay, sorry. I feel like I started talking low there. MSFO, two short calls, 435. We went above that. We were at 435.15 at the close of yesterday, so we were over at 15 cents. This is where half of our contracts are. The other half are at the 440 strike price. But, the other 890 contracts underneath that 1%, a little less than $5. I don't know. Upside for the short call may be about 5 cents in itself, but we are above that synthetic, so we do not have any bought calls for this one, but these do expire in a couple of days. So Then we have Misty, one short call. Looks like Misty did go down yesterday, which actually I remember this one because Bitcoin went up yesterday, but MicroStrategy was going down. So I didn't understand. I must have missed something. But I remember I had all these Bitcoin ETFs and they were like up 10%. And then MicroStrategy was like at the bottom, down however many percent. But anyway, with the short call at the 150 strike price, we're underneath that 12% now. Possible upside here for Misty at 258 for that short call. No bot calls for Misty. Nephilim here, short call 705 strike price. We did go above that yesterday. We were at 706.91, so we're above that almost $2. No upside for the short call, and we have no bot call. In VD here, we have the short call with a 113 strike price. We are above that by 2%. This actually did go down $1 yesterday to 115.59. No upside for the short call and no bot call for NVIDIA. Then we have OARC. OARC has a short call of 46.50. We're underneath that 1%, which is 44 cents. Possible upside for OARC is about 10 cents. For the short call, we do not have a bot call. Then we have PayPay. Short call, $70 strike price. We are above that 3%, $1.77. We do have a bot call at the 72.50, but we are underneath that 1%. No upside for short call here. SMCY, this one has some trades, so it looks like there that they just added 30. They sure did. So they just added 30 contracts. You can see here where they added it to the synthetic and the 462.50 short call strike price. So we have the two short calls that expire this week, 462.50 and 470. We are underneath those 5 and 7%. And that's because this one moves big. SMCI has big moves. In fact, this one's been before you invest in this one, I suggest you really look at SMCI, where it started at this year, where it was just a few months ago, and where it is now. Because this one, look, it's going to make me saying that's making me look it up. It's been, I don't want to lie to you on the exact prices. So let me look this up real quick. SMCI. So this one's a little scary. If you think some of the other ones are scary. All right. So in January of this year, now I'm not picking a specific date, I'm just looking at a graph. In January, I think we were around 300 here at one point. Before January, from October to January, we were in the low 200s to the 300s, okay? And then January hit, let's see, I can actually go up here to the dates. Let's go back to January 1st. January 2nd. We opened at 280. On March 13th, we were at 1,000. We closed at $1,188. In July, we closed at, on July 17th, $816. And today we're at 400. So I would be very careful with this one. And with all of those things and all of the swings that they've had and how they've done that, I'm surprised there's not a bought call on this one. Like, it's crazy. Go look at it for yourself. I know I don't have it pulled up on here. I have it pulled up on my phone. Yeah, it did this huge dip. Like, again, like it just tanked recently. It was down back in the 300s even before it's popped back up. I bought a few shares of it myself. Not of SMCY, but of SMCI. So this one scares me. If you look at the chart, it's probably just as bad as Misty, if not worse. As far as the chart goes, it might not even be as bad. I don't know. Misty might not be as bad, or MicroStrategy, sorry. Anyway, okay, I will move on. So we don't have a lot of contracts there, but the majority are at the 470. So I don't know, maybe we could go up $1.50 here. But you can see we went down almost $1 yesterday because SMCI dropped $10. So, of course, we're in the positive on the synthetic. So we'll see how this goes. But be careful. Snowy here. We have a short call with a 117 strike price. We're underneath that 5%. We have about a 76-cent upside for Snowy for the short call, and we do not have any bought calls. And then we have Squee. Okay, so they closed out the synthetic here. The $70 strike price had expired. Was going to expire this week. And now they've moved that out to December 20th with a $65 strike price. So you can see that change there. And then we have our short call with a $66 strike price, which are above 2% or $1.33. So no upside for this short call. And then we have the bought call with a $69 strike price. We're underneath that 2%. All right, we're moving on. Tesla, I think that's all the trades. Nope, TSMY. Tesla short calls, 230, 240 strike prices. We're underneath those 1 and 5%. Majority of the contracts are at the 230 strike price. We have 30,000 there and 1,000 at the 240. So that 230, we're only underneath that strike price a couple of dollars. So possible upside there about 12 cents for the short calls for Tesla. We do not have bought call. Then we have TSMY there. Wonder why, or what I did, or if I don't have formulas there or what. But it didn't bring over any of this. So we have TSMY here. They closed out the short call for this week with 180 strike price, moved it to next week with a 175 strike price. You can see they paid $14 to close the other ones, and they received $1.62 for this week's or next week's short calls. So you can see here we only have the one short call with 175 strike price underneath that 4%, possible upside of about 87 cents here for TSMY. Then we have Zomo. The synthetic expires this week with a 115 strike price. We did jump up quite a bit yesterday. That's a pretty big move for Zomo. We have a 112 strike price for a short call. We're over that 2% or $2.18. We do have a bought call with the 114 strike price, so we're actually over this one by 18 cents. And then we have Crash here. We have the short put with a 220 strike price. We're currently above that one, 4%. Then we have dips here, short put of a 111 strike price. We're above that 4%. Fiat, we have two short puts here. We have a 143 and a 150 strike price. We're above those 14 and 18% because coin has gone up this week. And then we have YQQQ. We have a short put of $442. We are above that 7%. Hopefully we don't go below that today, depending on what happens with the market. Then we have YBIT here. We have our synthetics that expired this week with a $28 strike price, currently down or underneath that 35%. And then we have our short calls, 18.50 strike price. We're above the 18 by 18 cents. We're below the 18.50 by 2% or 32 cents. Our shares are split there pretty much, so I don't know that we really have much upside there for the short calls themselves, but could always come up a little bit due to the synthetic. And then we have a YieldMax here. We have the $85 strike price for the synthetic that expires next week. And then we have the short call with a $68 strike price and a bought call with a $72 strike price. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.